So those who are of in need of it and they're seeking this sort of thing, they try to come and join us whenever they understand it.
And do you have a proselytization program, conversion program? Would it be?
Program, yes. We have been preaching all the time to everybody. Those who like the message, they come and join us. But if a person does not like the message, we never show any enmity or any grudge or anything wrong or ill feeling for the person. As a human being, we are bound to discharge our duty to other human being.
So what I want to ask is, there are certain sects who are aggressively propagating the faith, even among both Muslims and Christianity.
They are not. You can say they are aggressive, but they are not propagating the faith, because faith is a matter of your heart. The Quran says there is no compulsion in the religion. You can capture the bodies by force, but you cannot capture the heart by force. So if you are changing the faith by force, and whenever they get any opportunity, they will try to give you harm, or at least escape from there.
Globally, there is, there is a belief that Muslims discriminate against women. That is gender discrimination.
I don't know how do they define discrimination. When you read the Holy Quran, all the rights which were given to men were given to women. The only discrimination is that Islam says that the man and women both have their allotted duties. Man is to work outside and fetch money to run the home affairs, and the woman's duty is to run the house and train the children and keep eye on the children, give full attention to the education of the children, and look after the house. But despite that, if need requires, the woman wants to do any work, they can do it. There were quite a number of women during even the fights which were fought in the time of Holy Prophet and later on also. Whenever enemy attacked on Muslims, and in those days women were entrusted the job of supplying drinking water to the army, to the patients, to injured people, and at the same time they were being used as nurses for doing nursing for the injured people. So there is no discrimination, only to realize the division of labor. If you realize it, then if you ask any of the Ahmadi woman, she will never tell you that there is any discrimination being done against that woman.
But there is kind of a contradiction.
We have quite a number of doctors, teachers, and our literacy rate of our women is in some places much higher than the men.
No, there is a contradiction between what you have said. On the one hand, you said that there is pure equality between men and women, but at the same time, you said that women should take care of the home, the household, and raise children.
If both of you are outside, then who will take care of the home?
So that way,
then it affects the children. Even I know, there are quite a number of women. There are those who are very well educated, but they are not doing any job. Whenever I ask them, why don't you do? They say because of the still small children, if we go to the job, who will look after the children? We don't want to spoil our future generation. So it is the option which is given to the women. It is not that they are not allowed and any firm action is taken against those who come out, as I have said. So there should not be any contradiction.
But by keeping women to the home, they are denied of the avenues to develop themselves, avenues to progress in life, to advance.
Even our women, we have in Ahmadiyya community, we have our women organization. They make their own programs. They go out for picnics. Even they may arrange for their sports events and speeches and functions, organizations. And so you will see so many women working outside, and they hold seminars even in universities. They are quite exposed to the outside world.
But at the same time, you see, for example, in Kerala,
as far as Ahmadi women is concerned, we don't deny the rights of the woman. As for the other Muslims,
that is in theory, but in practice,
in practice, yes, you can see there are so many women, those who are teaching, doctors. There are so engineers even. Even we have just recently built our Berlin Mosque in Berlin, one of the biggest mosques in East Germany. First mosque in East Germany after the independence of that, or joining of the unification of Germany. And that mosque, one, it was designed by an Ahmadi woman architect. Secondly, the whole mosque was built with the contribution of women of living in Germany, and part of small help was also given from outside. So, if the woman is not exposed to the outside world, and if she is not earning anything, how could she spend and how could she design? So she is an architect. There are some architects also, there are engineers also. So it is wrong impression that if you are sitting in a house, you cannot be exposed to the world and you can understand what is happening. But that is what I have said earlier, that our women, our girls are much more educated than men in certain places.
And do you insist on wearing the parda, the burqa?
Yes, it is the teaching, the basic teaching mentioned in the Holy Quran. So this to keep your sanctity, you have to wear parda, and you should not mingle with men so freely. That
so you are against that free mingling of?
Yes, that gives chance to so many nuisances and nonsenses. So because of that is the teaching. But those who are professionals, those who are professionals, as for doctors, they are working together with doctors on operation theatres in hospitals. Those who are teachers, they are teaching. They are working together, but there should be some barrier between the man and woman. So the parda is just to give some mark some. You can say difference between the man and the woman.